The district is considering reducing the agriculture and art teacher positions to part-time. Oakland resident Nathan Ganaway says in an agricultural community, reducing the farm program just doesn't make sense. The Coles County community is mourning the loss of not one, but 2 young lives. I spent the day outside the scene of the crime, learning about Larry Steeples, the man arrested, and his victim.
Good evening, Maggie.
Good evening, Jaleesa. Earlier today I spoke with that witness, and as you can imagine, he wants to remain anonymous, but he says it's simply amazing the dog survived all the trauma. Lake Sarah Beach was unable to open last year after health violations involving geese. This is the only area where people are allowed to swim in Lake Sarah. Current policy at Eastern is you have to smoke 15 feet from the building. That's about where I'm standing right now. Hundreds of people gathered on Sunday to watch the war reenactment. And one local war enthusiast, James Herman, says it was a great way to honor those who lost their lives in the battle. School officials say that over 1/3 of the students expected to attend did not, but they were happy with the turnout of over 1,200. Shelbyville's Forest Park was filled with children having a day of fun and games. Sheriff Michael Miller says he hopes the students enjoyed the day as much as he did.
It's just kind of a celebration after the year-long DARE classes throughout the county. We have classes in the spring and the fall, and this is just a little bit of a celebration for the kids to come out and participate.
Various activities were available at this year's DARE picnic, including a live bomb demonstration, a tug-of-war event with students, and also the chance to go 95 feet in the air on a fire ladder truck, like I'm doing right now. Many students sat in awe as they watched the Illinois Secretary of State bomb squad fire off a device. Mowequa student Jacob Daniels says waiting to see what would happen was the best part.
Well, my favorite part is when it explodes and you're just waiting, well, is there going to be any boom? Then you wait a few seconds and boom.
Members of the bomb squad discussed safety procedures with the students, and investigator Dale Cox says he wants them to understand the dangers they pose.
And we actually set up a little range for the kids to just give them an idea what the explosives will do, and then talk about the dangers of explosives and fireworks and items like that.
The day gave the students a chance to meet with kids from other local schools and celebrate their accomplishments with a bang. In Shelbyville, I'm Maggie Hockenberry reporting for WEIU News Watch.
Tossing it up and just letting it drop and just being abusive to it real bad, and it was just uncalled for.
This is what a Mattoon resident says he saw Michael Schutz doing to his little dog, a pug beagle mix that's now known as Pedroia. But that's not all. He says the dog was punched, choked, and spun around on its leash. A call was made to police about a week ago, and that's when Michael Schutz was arrested and charged with animal cruelty. Authorities say the dog was taken to the Coles County Animal Shelter to heal.
On December 2nd, Ryan Livingston, one of my drivers, received a night call about a guy that had abused a dog. Mattoon PD requested our assistance to take the dog into our facility.
Coles County Animal Rescue Director Julie Dieter says she sees a lot of abuse cases, but this one stands out. She says Pedroia was malnourished and suffering from bruises and paw burns. The animal had been standing for long periods of time in her own urine, but the pug mix is on the road to recovery thanks to Dieters and her family.
She was only 10.2 pounds at the time. She's now 11.10, just in a week's time. She was very timid, very scared. She has come out of it.
Dieter says Pedroia is friendly, and she can't believe someone could do that to a defenseless animal. Her husband Ned has also taken a liking to the rescued pup.
She was right by my side once I got home. She followed me everywhere I went, and she ate a lot. She was eating a lot. She's a real nice dog.
Right now, sending Pedroia to a good home will have to wait. She needs more time to heal.
She's coming home with me every night. She's getting pretty attached to our family, so if the ride home comes along, I'd like to see her go to a good home.
A dog is just like a kid. They don't need to be mistreated or anything like that.
If you recreate the history, it helps you better understand what went on, why things went on, and quite possibly in the future how things might develop as well, because history does repeat itself.
Hundreds of people gathered on Sunday to watch the war reenactment. And one local war enthusiast, James Herman, says it was a great way to honor those who lost their lives in the battle.
Well, I think it's great that they reenactment it again after 150 years. I thought when it was 50 years.
The reenactment hit home for a lot of families because they had ancestors involved. Greg Watson got to play the role of his great-great-uncle, who was a Copperhead, and he says it was a way to learn some family history.
It was an honor to come and represent my ancestors and to keep this memory alive and to keep this part of history alive.
Audience members watched in awe as reenactors circled the square, acting out events that took place 150 years ago. One local participant says accuracy was the most important part about the event.
Actual events as they are as closely as possible so that they have a factual representation of what went on.
Everything about the reenactment represented the era from the clothes worn to the weapons used in the battle. Charleston Mayor Larry Reynolds thought the event was an appropriate way to wrap up the weekend's events.
I've been involved all weekend with various different pieces of it, and I wanted to see the final conclusion.
In Charleston, I'm Maggie Hockenberry reporting for WEIU News Watch. In case you weren't with us at the beginning of the newscast, here's another look at tonight's top story. Mattoon police are offering a $500 reward to anyone that can provide information on a recent home invasion and armed robbery. On March 15th, police say 2 men entered a home in the 200 block of South 30th Street wearing ski masks and robbed a family at gunpoint. No injuries were reported. Anyone with information is asked to contact Mattoon Police or message the department via Facebook. People may also contact Coles County Crime Stoppers. This spring, a diploma isn't the only thing some graduates will be walking away with. Many students will be paying off their higher education bill for many years to come. The Eastern Illinois University students are reaching out to the senior community. Members of the School of Business and the Gerontology program say they will lead a seminar on protecting senior citizens from fraud. They say the 1-hour program titled Money Smart for Older Adults will focus on preventing common frauds, scams, and other types of financial exploitation. Finally, on this Wednesday, talk about a bizarre traffic tie-up. A family of geese slowly made their way across the Illinois-Indiana border. Mike Parker picks up the story. A congressman makes a stop at Eastern Illinois University's campus today to get schooled on going green. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Maggie Hockenberry.
And I'm Julissa Paramore.
For the past 3 years, the campus of Eastern Illinois University has been reducing its footprints, carbon footprint that is, home to one of the largest biomass renewable energy projects in the country. Well, with temperatures rising, Illinois farmers are finally able to catch up. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says 43% of the state's corn crop is in the ground, which is 2 percentage points above the previous 5 years. Internet Explorer has gaps in its security system that could put your entire system at risk. The Department of Homeland Security says by clicking on a malicious link, a hacker can take control over your computer. Microsoft says the attacks are limited and they're looking into a fix for the issue. Spring planting could be a challenge for some Illinois farmers. Those in Washington, Illinois are battling more than just the frozen ground this year. Farmers say they're still finding debris on the fields from November's tornadoes that could seriously damage farm equipment. Some farmers say they'll probably be finding leftover debris for the next few years.